Okay, I won't type no more. That's clear. You guys are done for the night, okay? You guys are finished. Except for doing this and this and this. Okay. Yeah, why not, James? Right? I mean, get in here, get a short quickie, jump in after a very fun-filled, entertaining in the chat room for sure. Robert Wallace stream. That was fun. I enjoyed it. You guys are hilarious. You guys are hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So great to see all of you here spending your night with me. And I do, Brian Griffin, thanks for coming over and hanging out with us for a bit. And it's good to see you. And it's great to see all of you, like Mel Monty and Robert Wallace and James Rohrbach, D and KK. And Scotty's here. Hey, what's up, Scotty? Scotty and the KK show. Yes, they're here. And Mel Monty, I see you. Sorry. My little banner just popped up. I have to clear my notifications. So once I do that, I can read more of the chat. So, you know what? I made a list. Okay. So, who was in the chat talking about RFB, Richie from Boston, talking about his girlfriend was taken by, what was that, Grumpy Troll? Somebody was saying some stuff like that. I thought it was just somebody that liked the way that I said, so there's that. I thought it was somebody that liked that, but apparently it has something to do with something totally different. So I'd love to flush that out and hear it. Or not. It's just cool to hang out with you guys, right? Whatever. What's up, KK? In the house. In the house. You're all in the house. There, look at Grumpy Troll. What's up? Hey, thanks for subbing. Good of you to show up and be here. Appreciate it. Come in, get to know everybody. If you have anything that you want to get off your chest or anything that you want to bring up, I don't know. Let's just, we're okay with all that. We like talking about current events and fleshing out stuff. So we'll do that. I made some notes, so we'll get into that. Did anybody watch any of the news at all today? I happened to have a day where I got to kind of sit around and watch what happened today. There were two separate interviews that happened with President Trump today. And this man ain't joking no more. He is spitting fire. Fire. President Trump is spitting fire. He is taking it to the deep state right now, and he's taking it so slow and so hard. He's such a, I know it sounds terribly, but he is putting it to him. He is putting the boots to him right now. And I think he's drawing it out and letting it be nice and slow because he wants to just fuck these people in their world. He just, the mental combat zone that's going on right now within the deep state and these people that are up here must be unprecedented with any emotion that you could ever feel in your life. The level of corruption that this has all gone through. The moment in these people's lives where we are getting to witness this, we're watching this. It must be the craziest shit they've ever seen. They don't even know what to do with themselves, you guys. They have no clue what to even do with themselves. And it's about to get a lot worse. We are just watching the breaches in the dam start to give way just now. There's no way to plug up everything that's coming out of this dam. We are just getting, because it's just starting to go mainstream. And even the polls, the rigged polls, are stating that the country is not interested in an impeachment of Trump. Now, listen, it's okay to still be a Democrat in this country. It's okay. But it's not okay to understand everything going on within the upper echelons of the Democrat Party and within the deep state. And then to be okay with that and still call yourself a Democrat. There has to be a distinction. Okay. You might be ignorant, but once you're shown the truth, as I said, the last stream or the stream before, and I'll pause here in a second and I'll read some of the chat and see what you guys are saying, because I'm laying a lot out tonight, and I get that, but that's where things are taking me. But it's there's a lot going on behind the scenes within Trump's tweets. When you look at Kamala Harris is petitioning Jack of Twitter to close the account of President Trump, you are seeing panic in DC, panic throughout the deep state corruption. Their world, the deep state corruptive world, is falling in front of them right now as we speak. You're witnessing it, and it's just the beginnings of the cracks in the dam. This shit's about to get crazy. It's all about to get crazy. You know that way, baby. Ain't nobody saying nay, nay. It's about to get cray, cray. It is going to get crazy. And it's what's required in order for the truth to be fully given, vetted, so that people understand it. They're going to have to put this plan out and see people get crazy, and people will get crazy. I don't know how long it'll happen, but it's going to happen, because there's a lot of big fat George Soros money floating through the resistance against what's going on, which is the Great Awakening, the plan. A republic restored to the people, to be democratically ruled by the people, of the people, for the people. That's what it is. Let me read the chat. I see you guys are putting out some stuff. I'm very interested in what you're saying. Thanks for all coming here tonight. All right, I'll just roll back a little bit. So I don't think so, Grumpy Troll. Grumpy Troll says Trump is the deep state. I think I just agree to 100% disagree with that, my man. I just don't. And I respect you feeling that way, but no. It's some of the things I spoke about in my stream last night. Was that I think part of this Great Awakening, the plan to where all of us that feel like we are awake, and I think that's a very safe way to put that, is that we are awake to just not only the basic things that people are exposed to by the mainstream television, but we are awake by the standards of virtually all information that's allowed to go in. And there's enough freedom of speech and of investigation that still exists that can point us to a completely different narrative than what we see or hear on mainstream television. So respectfully, I say that Trump is not deep state, unless you're saying that he was recruited by the deep state to run as president and be who he's being so that they can implement a new and different agenda. I'm not there with anything like that, Grumpy Troll. I'm just simply not. They would never need to do something like that to recruit him, quite honestly. But you know, I don't know. All right, I'll just keep going on. Let me just keep reading the chat. Let's see what's going on. Like if you lick Bill. Okay. So happy the winning will begin. Known as a Messiah. All right, what are you saying, Grumpy Troll? Bill, do you know what Trump is known as a Messiah in Israel? He is on the half shack of the race. Okay, I understand that. I see that. What does that mean to you? What is that commonly known as, Grumpy Troll? I'd love to know. Cray Cray. Yeah, Totes, Cray Cray, Grumpy Troll. That's interesting. It is, KK. Yeah. See how much we'll be winning in the future. I feel. Hear me out, Bill. I will hear you out, Grumpy Troll. I will hear you out. The deception is incredibly multifaceted, and it's that way by design. Right? I'm with you. I get it. I get what you're saying. I'll hear you out. I'm, you know. Anyway, you keep putting it together. I'm, you know, I would hear you out. I'd love to know what it is, you know. So, what I really wanted to do was turn this back, though, because I, you know, went a little deep here just for a second with Grumpy Troll, and that's okay. I welcome that, and I'll see what he's got to say. But back to my lighthearted part of news. I want to talk about the rebuttal of President Trump of the fake news. In fact, what was labeled by him as the corrupt news. That is, in and of itself, a whole bunch of truth that was being given to people right there on live. He is calling them to their faces corrupt. What will it take for people to wake up from what's been going on? They're not only fake, they're corrupt. And does that mean that the reporter that's asking the question is corrupt? Well, maybe not directly, because that reporter's given a narrative. They're giving something to say. They're giving a script. We know that. And we know that that's all the way across the board as far as reporters go. So where is this narrative coming from? Where are these marching orders coming from? Every single day. And why are they coming explicitly against Trump? He poses a threat to everything that the deep state has spent decades and even a century plus building, all based off of Marxism. All comes from Marxism, which we spoke about before, which came into fascism. Where this is going and what Trump's doing to stop it, I don't really see a bigger narrative than what's going on right before our eyes. We've been told as Q reporters, as digital soldiers, we've been shown, we've been given the truth. It's been put in front of us. If you don't accept it, it's okay. I got no hard feelings. But there's no way you'll change my mind from what I've spent the better part of my life just trying to get the truth. And no matter what it is, in any way, shape, or form, I just want to know what's going on. And because of that kind of due diligence in life, hey, my life has not been easy. That kind of critical thinking gets me in trouble sometimes. Gets me in trouble. My critical thinking is something that just doesn't know color. It doesn't know age. It doesn't know anything. It's just a sensor. Call it a bullshit meter. Call it whatever you want. But I've been as critical against this plan from Q as anybody. I'm just waiting for the fuck up. That's all I've been waiting for, as all the proofs that we've been shown continue to prove the past drops. And the further we get into this, those feelings started to get away from me, because there's really no other explanation for the things that are coming true. And we are seeing it. You are seeing it being disseminated right now on the mainstream television. There is utter sheer panic in DC. They haven't charged anybody so far. They haven't charged James Comey. Why? They're waiting for the big enchilada. They're waiting for the big boy to come in. That's the FISA abuses in his signatures to get the FISA warrants issued. This man is going down, and he's going down hard. And he and a lot of his ilk are going down hard. And it's way sooner than later at this point, guys. We're in the game. I've told you this before. It's happening. It's happening right in front of your eyes. Did you see Trump's rebuttal? He killed the news today. He beat their asses. And I want to talk about for a second people that do other YouTube channels and all this kind of stuff. All right. When I was talking about discernment, to understand, to go through all this, to really put what's going on within the Trump administration, along with, if you believe Q, which I just do. I don't care. I'm not apologizing. I'm not fucking apologizing. If I'm wrong when this is all done, listen, I'll be out there banging the gong saying I was wrong. And I will help fix all the damage that must have done to so many people in the world. I will do that if this all turns out to be something that is not what it is. But that's not what's going on. This plan is so elaborate that anybody claiming to know that there's an elaborate plan beyond this one that goes even deeper and greater, man, I got some heavy speculation. And forgive me, because you know what? I know some of you are writing in right now and saying that, hey man, you have no clue, Bill. You don't know where this goes. You don't know how deep this goes. You're not even sure of this and this and this. And you know what? You might be right. I'll go back and read the chat when we're done. I want to know the truth. You should know that the truth is my North Star. That is truth to me. And listen, if my people, if my guy, when all this is done, if I'm wrong, I'll own it. I'll own it. But I've never done so much as to even speak out about who I would vote for or anything. Not until I've always been political. I've always kept it to myself. I've always been analytical and thought that I was making the right choice. But I've never spoke up and charged out and told people what I believe and why I believe in it. I haven't felt that in me until now, until this president, until that speech that got him elected. Our government is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment designed to only enrich itself at the expense of you, the American taxpayer. Ain't nobody called it out the way he did. Called the Clintons criminals. I hate to keep rehashing this every time I go live. But really at this point, as we're going along in this plan, and as we get further and further along this path, and shit's going on and shit's going down, there's really only very few things that you need to do than to just hover over the truth and know that you are right over it. The more that people try to sling information that takes you off this path should be held as suspect, not as criminals, but you should have discernment when you are dealing with people that have no faith in the plan of the Great Awakening. I would say, and I would submit to you, that either A, they're not supposed to be believing in the plan, or B, they just don't have enough information to really make that call, which would seem odd to me that they would come out and speak against something like that with authority and not be fully informed, And that's all I want for people. I've told you all, I want everybody to vote in this upcoming election. Who you vote for is up to you. I want people to vote. I want people to get involved. I want people to care. If you're not voting for Trump, you don't got to tell me why, but get your ass up and vote and start participating into this country and its future. Because those of us that are voting for Trump have been told that the political establishment is going to be restored to we, the people, the way it was designed. It's the way it was designed. Listen to yourself. I wrote this. Listen to your heart and let your discerning way about you guide you through this. Now, listen, I can listen to other people's points of views and I can look at it and go, man, I can kind of really see how you would think that or why you feel that way. But why aren't you putting it up against this mountain of evidence? I mean, you can't take specifics to argue a generality about how you feel about somebody, but then argue when somebody brings up a point that specifically needs a point and you just argue it in generalities. You can't do that shit. There's no more tap dancing after this is all done. And I think it's going to be better than it's ever been in the past for this great nation and the beautiful wonderments and beauty of the world. Not another 4-year election, folks. This last one affected the globe. This message, this information has caught fire. And it's run through every nation that's got a hint of a signal for the internet. People know what's going on with Trump. America, perhaps, those that are asleep, are some of the most asleep people in the world. Because at this point, if you're asleep, you're brainwashed. You're straight up brainwashed. And I feel bad for people that are brainwashed. I think Alexa is making noise over there. Weird. I don't even know if you guys can hear it. But and then finally, I wrote down Rudy Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani. Let's get to him. Have you guys figured out who Rudy Giuliani is yet in all of this? I'll give you a hint. He's the Punisher. Giuliani is the Punisher. Giuliani was the mayor of 9/11. Now, I don't know all of his history. I know he's been married a few times, whatever. But what I know is that in this great plan, He was brought in to be not the Punisher, but a Punisher. And right now, his role is the Punisher. There's going to be many of these individuals that come up, I think, in the upcoming months. They're all going to be Punishers. But right now, Rudy is out there doing what he's supposed to do. And he is exposing some heavy duty shit that is going to wreck Joe Biden and really put the spotlight on the crime that's been running rampant forever through DC, but really what sold our country out. And that was the last 20 years of the people we put in the presidency. America has been sold out heavily. Not even 20. It's actually more like since 1992. Pretty much. Actually, it's more like 1988. Bush won. But, I mean, shit. Halfway through, we went into a war. So, I mean, you could just say that it was what it was. And then we got out of the war. Man, in 92, Bill Clinton. And then in 93, you had the World Trade Center bombings. The handwriting was all on the wall. As we sit here and watch this and continue to watch how the future shows us the motives of people, we look at 93. They bombed it. We look at 2001. They did something. Some people did something. I suppose we'll learn one day what exactly it was, but it wasn't that heaping pile of bullshit that they put us on the television and say, here's what happened on that day. Well, something happened, and some people did something for sure. And they did do something. And one day we'll find out about it. Rudy Giuliani was the mayor during 9/11. He's been through it all. He's seen it all. Well, he happens to be the counsel to the president, his private lawyer. He was asked to go over to the Ukraine and investigate any tampering that was in the 2016 election. That was his whole purpose for being over there. He declared it with the State Department. He let them know, I'm going over here. We're going over to investigate tampering, anything with the 2016 election. Because while Robert Mueller and his witch trial was out there investigating information, the president was having counsel put together a rebuttal in the event they needed one. Insert Rudy Giuliani. He went over there. He looked at it. Things were discussed and offered to him that he didn't ask. And it had to do with Joe Biden and his son. He went there for one reason and left with another. That's okay. They're looking for a predicate as to what launched the entire investigation. I'll tell you what, it was the meddling into the elections is what launched all of this. And each time that he went and came back, he shared all the information with the State Department. All documented. Totally no issues. But the mainstream television and the left won't let you think that for a second. If this is the movie Titanic, the mainstream television is sitting on the iceberg with a piece of luggage on it, and it's all sitting out there and floating, and it's just about to go under all the way. I mean, their credibility is completely ruined. And we've known this has been coming. This has been coming. Credibility completely ruined, off the map ruined. They're laying all of their cards out right now to try to cause a diversion. Trump is calling all of these meetings with world leaders to put it right in front. He's showing the unity between the U.S. and these other countries. He's put them all in a no spin zone. They can't spin his agenda because he's got them wrapped, wound, and tight against the truth, and they can't win. Can't win. Their days are simply numbered. Their days are numbered. They are clinging to their last little vessels of life, but they are gasping for their final breaths. They're done. They're fucking done. They're done. They are done. The deep state is done. Can they cause some destruction on the way out? Maybe. Yeah. Be vigilant. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. Pay attention. It's always a good idea. But are they done? I think they're done. They're flying blind right now. And that's why they're putting out all of these different stories. That's why John Brennan is tweeting out that, remember, there's no limitation as to how many whistleblowers can come out at any given time. He was like putting it out there like, hey, more whistleblowers, let's go. Let's get them. Let's get them. Let's get some whistleblowers. That was just like a day ago. These people are done. They're clinging to desperation. They're flying blind. John Bolton was taken out of his seat, and they officially lost their eyes and ears to anything going on within the Trump administration. That's another reason that we know shit's about to jump off the map. All placeholders have been distinguished. They're done. Game, set, match. Thank you, sir. Good day. I said good day. Yeah. That's in our immediate future, you guys. Anyway. You know. Or maybe none of that's true. It could be that way too. I could be 100% wrong. And you know what? Now that I rethink everything, I probably am. I'll probably just delete this video because I probably am just so wrong. Then maybe I'll leave it up for a day. How's that? Anyway, it's great to see you guys. It's great to have a new sub. Grumpy Troll, thank you. I'll go back and read the chat. I'm sure we'll be friends when it's all done. I'm sure we will. But so awesome of you guys to show up and great rapping with you. I appreciate it. I probably won't go on tomorrow night, but Friday night, I'm feeling Friday night. Yeah. And who knows? I'm supposed to go golfing Friday. Woot woot. Kind of looking forward. I'm also supposed to go shooting. So I might do both. Some of y'all call that a good day. Well, I need a good day. I need a good day. I need a great day. What I can tell you is it's nice being a part of this great awakening and watching this all. And it's an honor, again, as I've said before, going through this with you guys. So fantastic. You guys have a great night. God bless you all. I love you. Lift each other up. You know, that's one thing I'll say real quick is even on Twitter, if I scroll across a story and somebody says, hey, my blah, 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 please lift them up in prayer. Man, I take the little itty bit of time to just lift that person up quick and lift them up. So do that for each other. Be awesome. Do it for each other. All right. I'm done being your dad. I love you all. Have a great night. See you.